Very nice.
Hello, Herbert, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Yeah, may I request you to share the first page of the screen?
Absolutely, no problem. Give me a
Yeah,
second.
yeah. So let's start. Good afternoon, everyone.
Yes.
We welcome you to the webinar Milliken's Reactint, a benchmark color technology for PU foam, efficiency, accuracy, and impact. And this will be jointly presented by our two respected speakers, Herbert G. Breuck and Dr. Yogesh Saraf. Herbert T. Breuck is Global Technical Manager of the PU business at Milliken Chemicals and based out of Ghent, Belgium. In this role, he is responsible for creating the innovation strategy and he manages the technical output of the project portfolio. He leads the global technical coordination between different Milliken PU labs worldwide. We welcome you, sir. And the second presenter will be Dr. Yogesh Saraf. He is a senior development manager at Milliken Chemicals, leading application development and technical services for polymer solutions. He is based out of Milliken's Technical Center at Pune since 2009. He holds a PhD from ICT Mumbai and he has over 28 years of R&D and technical service experience in the chemical industry. He has previously held key technical roles at Dow Chemicals, Saint-Gobain, Pidilite, and Dr. Bic India. We welcome you both, sir, and I hand it over to you.
Thank you very much for the nice introduction, and I'm glad to be here together with Yogesh and introduce you to Milliken. So here you have a picture when we were much younger and nicer, but we still look good, and we're happy to guide you through the Reactint technology. First, maybe a short introduction. We keep it really short on what Milliken is. Milliken is a global player based in the United States, in South Carolina, Spartanburg. But in general, we have more than 70 locations worldwide, more than 7,000 associates. We have sites in more than 15 countries, and we produce, remarkably enough, more than 11,000 products, so much more than what is known as. Can
Hello.
somebody mute,
Yes,
please?
I
Because
request
I hear a lot
everyone to
of.
please be on mute.
Yes, thank you very much.
Yeah.
So you see here a couple of fields where Milliken is really active, in automotive and in textiles and hospitality with our carpets. So we have a lot of applications that are known from us. So here's our global presence. As you see, the star is our headquarters in the US. And all the other countries that are in blue have at least one Milliken site. In Europe, for example, we are based here in Ghent, where we have a textile site and the European headquarters. In India, we have 3 sites, Mumbai, Delhi, and Pune, where Yogesh is situated. So we are quite well represented all over the world and can support our customers from each of these regional sites. For PU, for example, we work out of 5 laboratories. So our headquarters, Ghent, Sao Paulo, Pune, and Shanghai. So what, maybe not many people are aware of is that in practice, you encounter a Milliken product or you touch a Milliken product 50 times a day. For example, if you touch your detergent, which is colored blue, it's high chance that the color is made by Milliken. If you have a tire on your car, the tire cord might be produced by a Milliken factory. So if you have a transparent plastic box, polypropylene, which is transparent, it's most of the time purified or clarified with a Milliken clarifier. So you touch it without really knowing that it's a Milliken product. So as I mentioned already, we are a little bit busy around a couple of industries. So our original, when we were founded in 1865, is a textile company. So we're still very big, represented in textiles. So we make protective wear, we make military wear, we make napery for hotels. And moving from the textile, by first of all developing some product aids for the textile industry, we created more and more chemical products. The first one was really coloring, a colorant on a on a thread, on a fiber that has to be removed afterwards. So that really comes our color technology from. From there, we spread out. We had colors for detergent. We had colors for polyol. We have colors for plastics. We worked into the fine chemicals. We worked into the plastic additives. So a lot of different applications originated from that, the first step in the chemical industry. Another big department is still the flooring. So we make a lot of carpets. Ovic Health is our healthcare division, where we really develop medical products, bandages, hemostats, for example. Also for veterinary applications, that's a separate unit. It's called Ovic Healthcare. And then we have a last division, which I'm not going to, but we have a consulting where we advise people and look for support industry for sustainable improvements. As every responsible company, we also have our sustainability pillar. I'm just going to mention this one is our SBTi targets, where we really want to reduce our CO2 footprint. And to prove that it's not just big talks, we are obliged to report these targets, and we are controlled and monitored. So we really want to contribute to a better sustainable world. So that's in brief a little bit on Milliken, and I want to go now a bit more into colors, because it is the topic of our talk today, and Yogesh will really deep dive on the Reactint technology. But are you aware that when you go to a supermarket or whatever other shop you want, that in 19 seconds a consumer makes already a judgment, subconscious, about the product that he's going to buy? And remarkably, 62% up to 90% of the people, they make this assessment based on the color alone. So that means if the product looks nice, have a nice color, it has already it's already favorable compared to, for example, a non-colored product or a product with a rather not appealing color. So 84.7, so nearly 85% of consumers choose a product by its color. That's remarkably high. What's also remarkable, that 52% did not return to a certain store because they didn't like the aesthetics. It was not colorful enough, or the colors were not appealing. So that's more than half of the consumers. And 80% that of the people think that color can really increase a brand recognition. So marketing, branding, it's all important, and it's often related in a majority on color. So let's not forget that. So I want to give you a small introduction on what color really is. So we all know that we're surrounded by a lot of waves, from short wavelengths to long wavelengths, and it goes from nanometers up to kilometers wide. And we see that the visible light, so the colors that we see, the light that we see, is only limited to a very narrow part of this wavelength, and that's from 400 to 700 nanometers, right in the middle between the ultraviolet and the infrared light. So color is a very small part of the whole wavelength spectrum. So what is color effect? Color is really a visual effect, and it's based on a spectral composition, so of different wavelengths giving a certain color of light. And this light is emitted. You have a light source, you can see it directly, so you can look at the light and immediately see the source. Or it can go via an object, can be transmitted, or can be reflected. And all these wavelengths, these waves are kept by our eyes, and the different cells in our eyes that really give us an image of a color. But there can also be a different perception. For example, if you use different daylight, or you use LED light, or you use another type of light source, you can have already a different color perception. So the light source is also an important parameter. And Yogesh will come back later on how we support our customers with and the influence of light on Reactint. But this is important for us. If you want to give technical support to really define a certain color, it is important that we also know the light source. Is your product going to be used outside? Is it going to be inside? And what type of inside light is used? Because you can have different colors. So to quantify it a little bit, or to really set some parameters, we use technology. In this case, we use spectrophotometer linked to a color computer, a color PC, and we can really measure the intensity of each wavelength. So that means at a certain absorption or of the wavelength, we can identify colors. So we have a whole spectrum available where we can position colors. This is mainly done based on what we call the CA lab values. And you see them here, where we really define the color space. So that makes it easier to define where a certain color is positioned, and how we can help customers to make that color and identify that color. So as I mentioned, the C lab is the most important. That is really the vertical axis. You have the L axis, goes from light to dark, so in fact from white to black. And the other follows really the colors and where our eyes has the most feeling for. So we go from red to the green is A axis, and we go from from yellow to blue in the B axis. And by defining a correct spot in the spectra, we can identify a certain color. Okay. So with that, I really like to hand it over to Yogesh. I think, Yogesh, I will stop sharing and you start sharing your screen to get more in-depth information on the reactant.
Sure. Thank you, Herbert.
No problem.
Can you all see my screen? Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yep. So good afternoon, everyone. I am Yogesh. So I will just take you through the reactant part. So basically, if you look at it's an innovative product, innovative technology, specifically designed for coloring polyurethane foams. And over the years, Reactint has become a benchmark technology for coloring foams and polyurethanes because of its the kind of benefits that it offers to the formulation, the product performance, and the process. Right. So for polyurethane foam, and not only for polyurethane foam, but for all products, color is just not a visual or aesthetics. It's more than that. It's critical for its product performance, process, and even sustainability. So I will, in my next slides, I will walk you through the reactant presentation, whereby I will try to explain how reactants or a polymeric colorants help to improve the product performance and and also offers the process benefits. So I think Herbert explained very well. The color is important for as a marketing tool, and everyone chooses a product based on its color. This is basically because the color is associated with every brand. Right? Every brand is recognized by color. The color also highlights the features and benefits of the product, because our product is just not a foam or any product, but it also offers some benefits, and it helps to claim and market our product based on the color. It is also used for differentiation of the grades and customization of the product. From the technical perspective, if you ask me, the color also helps to mask the aging of the foam as well. There are three different technologies available for coloring the foam: pigment, dye, and polymeric colors. So what is pigment? So pigment is basically an organic or inorganic material, generally comes into a solid form, but for a better use into PU foam, it needs to be dispersed in a carrier. And that dispersion is just not just putting pigment into a carrier. It needs lots of dispersing aids, stabilizing agents, and then material has to be ground in a mill. Then it becomes stabilized. So it becomes, it is a physical dispersion, which is not thermodynamically stable and settle over a period of time. So there are different ingredients, several ingredients into pigment dispersion, like say a carrier, then pigment dispersant, and the stabilizing agents. The carrier may not be compatible with the polyols or polyurethane foams, because these may be plasticizers or any other material. So it is not always that the carrier is compatible with all the polyols and all the ingredients that are used in the foam formulations. Dispersants are mainly surfactants, and we know that surfactant plays a critical role in foam formulation. Any variation it's in quality or quantity, it disrupts the foam performance. So dispersant acts like a surfactant, and the change in pigment or change in concentration, even if your formulation is stabilized, it can vary the foam performance. And again, the pigment dispersion has a different particle size. So these different particle size also causes several issues into the foam cell structure, the foam splits, and it also interferes into the foaming process. If you look at dyes, dyes are designed to stain, react with the or color the fabrics, and they are reactive. Dyes are soluble in some solvents. Some dyes are soluble in the polar solvents. Some of them are in non-polar solvents. But for the use in the foam industry, it needs to be again dispersed into some carrier or some medium. So again, the same drawbacks of a dispersion carries forward to dye dispersion as well. Whereas polymeric colorants, they are specifically designed for polyurethane industry. And my next slides will explain you what are the polymeric colorants, right? So this is a typical structure of a polymeric colorant. You have a chromophore. A chromophore means a color forming body, right? And to this color forming body, there is a polymer chain is attached. And this polymer chain has got a hydroxyl terminal group. So this unique structure makes this product very different from others. And this is how it was designed to meet the needs of a polyurethane industry. Since Millikan comes from a textile background, the chromophore that was chosen to make the reactants are very strong chromophores and those are that offers a very bright shades. So they are effective at low loadings and as well as it gives you a bright shade. The polymer chain and the hydroxyl group, as the molecular weight increases, the structure is like a polyol. And this makes the molecule itself inherently into a liquid form. So since the molecule itself is inherent into liquid form, it offers several advantages. Being a liquid, the handling becomes very easy. And even metering also becomes very accurate and it's a lot easier than any competitive technologies, right? The polymer chains, the structure of polymer chains and the hydroxyl group is designed in such a way that the product is miscible and compatible with most of the polyols, let it be polyether or polyester. They are compatible with that, and even the additives and other chemistries used into the foam industry. So the hydroxyl group, it offers several advantages. Right? So hydroxyl group is designed, specifically designed in this molecule to react with isocyanate. So it reacts with the polyurethane isocyanate and becomes an integral part of polyurethane matrix. So this offers several advantages as it does not impact any physical parameters of the foam, as well as it prevents the migration and extraction out of the system. Whereas any dispersion, let it be a dye or pigment, it gets get trapped in between the polymer matrix and it does affect the physical properties of the foam. Moreover, it also impacts the migration and extraction out of the system. I'm playing a small video here. So this depicts that if you have a polyurethane mattress, which is covered with a fabric, and we always see it on the mattresses, on the furnitures, and there is always a spillage. We eat it, we drink on it. So I'm just pouring a small amount of alcohol on it, and you can see after some time that when the color transfer to the fabric. With the reactant, you will see that there is no color transfer onto the fabrics because the reactant is completely reacted with the polymer matrix and it does not migrate out of the system. But in the case of dye, you can see a stain on the fabric. So this is because the dye has been there sitting outside the polymer matrix and easy to get migrated out. A similar case is for a pigment. So even pigment transfer its color to the fabric after multiple use because of the frictions and other things. And no one will like us to see that color on the fabric due to any reason. It is visually or aesthetically not appealing, as well as it poses potential health hazard. This is an electron microscopic picture of a foam cell. You can see the reactant cell structure is very neat and clean because it is reacted with the polymer matrix and it has become an integral part of the polymer chain. Whereas pigments get entrapped into uh, the cell wall structure, this is because of its particle size. So since reactant doesn't have any particles, it does not contribute to the foam performance. The foam performance remains as it is, right? It doesn't uh, negatively affect the foam performance. There are no pinholes. It is effective at low loadings, as well as it does not carry or consume any catalyst. And it allows you a controlled dosing, and as well as it can offer lots of flexibility on the production side to make variety of color. Also from here, okay. So all these activities you can do it and mark it from your dashboard. Okay, this is your dashboard functionality. I think there is some disturbance coming. All right. Thank you. So the reactant, because of this, offers lots of flexibility and versatility on the production line to make different kinds of colors or different types of color effects. It also helps to reduce the inventory. It offers a flexibility and accuracy in dosing. So it can be dosed into a polyol stream as well as it can dose into a water stream. And also it overall, so it also helps to improve the yields as well. Since these are inherently liquid in form, it does not settle in terms of tanks. So whenever you receive a material at your end factory, you don't need to stir or agitate the material before the use. Whereas any dispersion, when you receive it, as dispersion have a tendency towards settling, it needs a lots of stirring before the use. As well as there are no particles or no abrasives in the reactant. It does not contribute to any wearing of the pumps and other equipment. Since there is no settling inherently in the liquid form, you don't need to have a mixing head over those tanks, and it can simply dose into the continuous line without any issues. On the spillage on the shop floor, right? So since if you have received any dispersion, high viscosity, you need to dilute it or agitate before the use. There is always a spillage on your grounds. And any color, any spillage, it spreads out very immediately onto the shop floor and the shop floor looks very dirty. But with the reactant, if there is any spillage, it can be mopped off very easily with water. And your shop floor always remains very neat and clean, and it remains a very standard production unit. About the wastage, right, on the in the containers, since reactants have very low viscosity, they can be drained out completely out of the tanks. And as per our studies, there is only less than 0.5% reactant that remains in your tanks. And more or less, it can be always rinsed off with a polyol to further reduce it. However, the dispersions, because of its high viscosity and non-miscibility with the polyols, the residual color in any tank is about 3%. So reactant helps to save in all aspects, not from the cost, but also from the environmental aspects as well. Reactants have low viscosity and hence it becomes highly miscible into polyols. They are Newtonian fluids and its viscosity does not change by application of any shear or pressure. So even during the process where we have high mixing RPM and high shear, the viscosity remains the same. That's why it offers a lot of consistency in the process, even for different formulations uh, and different process conditions. It gives you a consistent performance. Whereas the dispersions, because these are stabilized by a thixotropic agent and dispersing aids, they tend to lose viscosity on the application of shear. And this change in viscosity with different shear gives you inconsistency into your product performance. So the reactant offers several benefits because of its unique molecular structure. As these have low viscosity and easily miscible with the polyols, a blend on the fly is very much easily possible. So just by using 4 or 5 reactant colors, we can produce foams with very attractive shades, very dark shades, with covering the entire spectrum. Even dark shades are possible with reactant because they are non-reactive and does not contain heavy metals. So getting for higher dosage of any dispersion becomes challenging because the carrier and the dispersing agents and the other additives into those systems, they do affect the foam performance. So with reactants, when you use reactant, it gives you more confidence on the shop floor or on the process side so that you can make darker shades and attractive shades. So as I explained earlier, so with just having 5 colors, an entire 5 primary reactant, entire wide color space with millions of shades are possible. So that helps to reduce inventory. So in case of other technologies, if you want to make different shades, you need to have a different tanks for each color. So that is not the case with reactant. Just 5 primary colors, entire color space can be covered. Running a small video, it shows how reactant gets solubilized into polyol so quickly. This is at very low RPM, and you can see when the blue is, we are adding yellow to blue, it turns immediately green. And now we are adding a third tertiary color to make it a brown shade. So this is how you can make several darker, attractive shades, and more or than that shade remains yours because the blend ratios of between, for example, the blue and yellow, it's only known to you. So it becomes your unique shade. So it's very difficult for duplications for your competition to carry over to produce those shades. Again, running a small video showing how smooth is the color transition when you are producing multiple foam at your side. So the low viscosity and higher miscibility of reactant allows to have a swift color change and lower dual color box changes. So this saves lots of wastages. You get better yield. So in addition to the product performance, it also offers a lots of process benefits. Just by using 3 to 5 colors, depending on your needs, you can choose to have a 3 color system or 4 color system or 5 color system. As you go from 3 to 4 color system or 5 color system, the spectrum of colors that you can produce, it increases and it offers you more flexibility. And you can make your own shades based on this color spectrum. This is a typical example of a production site, which was earlier using a dispersion and now shifted to uh, reacting. You can see that there are several tanks for a color dispersion, and those are housed with stirring motors above it. So when this production house shifted to reactant, it just went back to the 5 tanks with no stirring heads on it. So it saves lots of space reduce number of tanks. The space saving is not only on shop floor, but it is on also your manifold. So rest of the tanks.
How come meeting में है?
Hello. Yes. So it saves lots of energy. It also offers lower operational cost, and it also gives you ability to make several shades, darker shades, attractive shades, and also a saving on a color change, a dual color block on the color change part. Apart from flexible foam, reactants can be very well used into rigid foam, spray foam or one container foam, rebonded foam, and case application. Let it be adhesive, sealant, or elastomers. It offers its unique advantages even in this product as well. To make your life easy, to make your life more beautiful, right, and make products more attractive, Milliken has developed a Reactint web app, whereby if you have a shade in your mind, you can simply go to this web app and you get a ready-made formulations for the blends of those colors. If you have any Pantone shade in your mind or it's your requirement from your customer, you can just key in the Pantone shade and you get a ready-made formulation for the color blend onto the web app, right? And similarly, you can design your mattress with different colors. It's a digital design so that you can see or you can imagine how your color mattress will look like. So this saves a lots of time for making a lab prototype, then production prototype. Instead of that, this app helps you to design your product more efficiently and in a more attractive manner. And if you are finding difficulties to match shades with this web app and you want to further explore it, our labs are always open for you for further assisting into color suggestions as well as color matching. Thank you. And now I will hand it over to Herbert back again. Herbert.
Yes, thank you, Yogesh. Yeah, if you can share, yeah, okay, great. I leave it sharing the presentation to you now. So just briefly on a couple of other products, because Milliken for PU is also active in other areas of the polyurethane industry and other applications. So just briefly, I name here 4 of our products just for your information. For example, the antioxidants. We have an DPA-free, so diphenylamine-free antioxidant, which is gaining a lot of interest thanks to or due to some regulatory issues with the diphenylamine as antioxidant at the moment. So there will be a change in regulatory for this material in the coming years, which forces a change in SDS for reprotox issues. And AOX is a good alternative. We tested it largely, and it's particularly busy now in Europe and the US, but it will spread, hopefully also on the rest of the world. So we have an alternative that is, compared to a competitive amine-free antioxidant, it's very well performant. I'm not going into details. If you want any details, please contact Yogesh or me. Beside that, another product range from our colleagues from Encapsys is the PCM, so the phase change materials, which give you a cooling touch and a pleasant feeling of the polyurethane foam. It can be either adapted as a coating or as into the foam, mixed into the foam itself. We're happy to assist you here also if there is any interest. For automotive, we are working on a lot of scavengers. One of them that is already on the market is the Milligard AS series, which is reducing successfully aldehydes, especially acetaldehyde and formaldehyde, and is used in the automotive industry for molded seats, for example. And then when we come, for example, to more technical applications or sponges in that area, we have an antimicrobial product called Alphasan that is active against several bacteria and fungi. And we also have the test laboratory available in different regions if you want to explore this more. Yes, Yogesh. So concluding, so I'm like to conclude with what is Milliken standing for. Is of course a good product, as we've seen explained by Yogesh, a performant product, but also our service and support. As I mentioned, we have 5 regional labs, and each of these regional labs is really equipped to do the main technical support for our customers. So that means we can do the color matching we can measure exactly your color you want. We can test, for example, UV stability of your product, the thermal stability of products, the microwave scorch, which is more related to the antioxidants, just as the NOx exposure. And we can control the quality of products, for example, with the peroxide content. But more than this pure lab support, we also offer reactant support when you want to introduce it to your line into a foaming plant, as well for new customers as existing customers. So this means we really give you a startup support. And we can tailor or adjust the color and your dosage to an optimum, to the best way to start up a new color in your production. Our expertise, like in our regions, like Sunil in India and Sophie in Europe, for example, we have very experienced team of color matching experts. They can really tailor the exact match of your foam. And more important is that they have expertise also in parameters that are really important at the end of your foam and the foam line. So you can easily make a lab foam, but it has to correspond with what your team is doing, or what the real foam will look on the machine and at your end customer. So they are well aware, for example, if you use more filler, use different type of polyol, different type of isocyanate, they can really have that expertise to come up with the right solution. For polyol suppliers, or even if you use your polyol and you have some issues or experience, you need some more input. Sorry, we can test the yellowing, we can test the color stability. We offer also analytical capabilities to our customers. For example, when we talk automotive, we have all the 3 current technologies available in-house, meaning for emission testing, that's meaning the micro chamber, the cubic meter chamber, and the Tadler bag. So we can help you. We can also help you with composition analysis or microscopy in case of something wrong, if you want to know better the characteristics of your foam. And we have, like Yogesh said, also a color dosing system experience. So we have a millijactor dosing system that can really help you to really dose the colors very precisely in your foaming line. So even more than technical support, we also are sales service and support. So we can deliver quite rapidly all over the world. That means we have stock points all over the world for fast delivery. We are globally covered. You see here all the sales centers. And we do also some regulatory support. So we are very familiar with all the ongoing regulations. We started also with LCA for Reactint. So that's that we can support also the sustainability footprint of your products. We have a local customer service. We cannot emphasize that enough. We are there to support you whenever needed. And the web app is online and ready for you to use. That's it, Yogesh. Yeah, thank you very much for your attention. If there is anything you want to know or you have questions, please come back to us. We're here to help and support you. Thank you very much for your attention.
Yes, so if we have any questions for the presenters?
All good. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very
So
much.
there
Thank
are
you.
no questions. So we would like to thank both the presenters for this insightful presentation,
Our
describing all
pleasure.
the efficiency of the product and its advantages on shop floor and manifold, etc., and color dosing facilities and technical support also. So thank you, sir. Thank you so much for your presentation. Yeah,
It's our
there is
pleasure. Thank you.
one small question is coming. How long
Yeah.
color life in foam? This
Yes,
question is
Yogesh.
from Mr. Bhavani Shankar from Sri Malani Foams.
Yeah, actually, it depends on the color intensity as well as your foam formulations, because you know that foam is also an organic material and it also fades over a period of time. So does the colors are organic and they do fade, but it depends again what kind of intensity, what kind of colors, and what is your foam formulation.
Okay. Yeah. So are there any more questions? No, sir. There are no more questions. Let us thank both the presenters. Thank you so much for your time, sir.
Thank you.
You're
Thank you very
welcome.
much.
You're welcome. Thank you,
Thank you
man.
for listening.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you
Bye-bye.
so much. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Thank you so much.